Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and the gang is all here, including the birthday girl.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Happy belated, Quinn. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm 30. I'm thriving.
Oh my
And
God.
Whoa.
Oh my, we're gonna take her to Social Security office next week. I'm
I know.
30.
I know.
Congratulations on reaching the grand old age of 30.
I know.
Myra
Only
J,
20
how are
years from
you?
AARP. I am well.
Wow. Wow.
can't wait.
I am
You're
well.
oh, and you're home.
Yes.
I thought you might be sitting in somebody's parking lot at a comedy club today.
Girl, look, I'm really trying to come up at this age. If not now, when, Sybil? You know what I'm saying?
I know, I know.
I
So you
really
go
got to stop hanging out in parking lots.
I just got
say that again.
me and Myra, we switched places. I'm on top. That's why I was like, this feels kind of funny. And I was like, oh,
Oh.
thank you.
There it is. There it is. There we go.
Oh, she's a
There it
top
is.
girl. Okay. Hey, Stephen Hill, how are you?
I'm having two very important things. One, it's a brand new faucet. It's a brand new faucet right there. Brand new faucet. There you go. Oh yeah, that's very
nice.
important.
Very
Brand
nice.
new faucet. Yeah.
Nice.
Number one. Number two, I leave immediately from here to go see the opening show for Mariah Carey's Christmas show tonight. So I'm very excited about
Oh.
that. Yes.
And she-
Nice little
she
2.5 hour
is-
drive.
Her lifestyle is the impetus for or the impetus for our express yourself question. What's really going on today? So,
I look forward to it.
watching an interview with her and just begged a question on my part. So, I'm glad everybody is here. Stephen Hill, how's your head?
Not bad. For those who weren't here, I had an operation on the back of my head. First time I had surgery ever was a week and a day ago. I had a big lump taken out of the back of my head, which I've had for. I realize it's been closer to 20 years.
Wow.
But thanks for asking. It's healing very nicely. My wife is putting on the Neosporin and the bandages now. So there we go.
Oh, and then she
Chair.
kisses it. Oh, that's so nice. That's so
What did they
lovely.
suggest you eat
Yes.
after the surgery?
There was no suggestion upon a change in diet at all. Just make sure Neosporin and cover it. Yeah.
Okay, I thought for
It
sure.
wasn't that kind of. You got to change your diet after you get an incision.
I
in your
thought
head?
for sure they're gonna encourage you not to eat from Papa Dough. I thought it was gonna affect your taste.
You know what?
It always goes back to Papa Dough and
It
her
should.
hatred, her hatred of Papa Dough. Oh goodness! What's going to happen when we get a Papa Dough sponsorship?
Sponsorship.
I
Sponsorship.
know.
That's right.
I'm gonna just turn my camera off. But I am so glad you're okay. That sounds terrifying.
You'll just advocate for the drink the swamp thing. Trust me, you like that.
Okay.
One. You may like your food, Quinn. Oh, but that swamp thing gonna get at you. It'll make you throw up like you like to do.
And that will make you really want some of their good fried fish then too. Mhm.
Grandma watches the show. Let's keep it kosher. Keep it kosher.
Oh, yeah. I meant throw up your hands in delight, like, oh, that's so good.
Like
Yeah.
I'm praising Jesus because God is
Yes.
good.
Right.
All
Throw
the
your
time,
hands up
yes.
in the air.
Yes.
Hey,
Tell
yeah.
Jesus you care. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I hope you had a good birthday. And as you get into your 30s, will you continue to take your birthday off? Is my question. I'm wondering.
100%.
Oh,
This is my first
really?
time actually taking the full week off from my job. And
Wow.
my boss is actually a Scorpio too. She's born the day after me, and she didn't take off work. And I found that to be so interesting. I'm like,
Because she's older, and she's like, we don't need to do that.
And she said, when my bank account is set up, I'm gonna have another birthday next year. So
okay. It's just such a way to like celebrate yourself and like pause and just be like, yeah, actually, like I want to just sit on the couch. And even still, like I didn't need the full
Wow.
week.
And you just turned 30?
Yeah, I just wanted time to just rest and like write in my diary and like read a book and like be with my god baby and like hug my grandma. Just like time away from work.
Wow. That's
like, all the
very,
things.
very
Yeah.
mature.
You know, my birthday is always on election day too, so it's always hard to actually like celebrate because especially in this political climate. But I'm glad Virginia, went blue. But yeah, so I just wanted time to just sit and scroll.
Nice.
And recover. Don't leave out the word recover. Do not leave out the word
From
recover.
all the great things God has done for me.
yes,
Amen.
amen. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I had a
Thank
great,
you.
amazing time eating great food and drinking water.
Yes. Yes, and you know he turned water into, well, never mind. Okay.
He turned water into what you see. Yes, all right. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I
That
feel
is
the spirit.
so funny. Don't forget he turned water into never mind. Yes, that is brilliant. I forgot about that passage. Let's talk a little bit about the work that we do, Quinn, with the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is a newsletter we put together to super serve the African American community, to inform and empower Black folks, and with our stories that concern them, that are about them, and also that we think that news that we want to share with them, stories that are important in our lives are important to us as well. And so the What You Need to Know newsletter is free, absolutely. And it's a good time to go and sign up, not only to make sure that your subscription is still good with us, because you sign up, give us your name and your email address. We'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday morning. But it's a great opportunity for you to give those Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa gifts to folks by signing them up for the newsletter too, and say, I was thinking about you. As
Mhm.
George Wallace would say, I be thinking, and I'm thinking that you want to
Be
be
informed.
informed and empowered,
Right.
right?
That's
So
right.
please go to SybilWilkes.com. And we start with our young contributors every day. Kwyn Townsend Riley is our LGBTQI plus, IA plus contributor, and she is with us today. Early on in the week, we had Coy Malone, who's social justice. Young Cameron Riley is Quinn's big brother, and he talks about politics. And tomorrow, we'll talk with Aprilette Russell, who is our mental health and wellness contributor, too. So, young Quinn, let's talk about the upbeat story you had in the newsletter about one man to one Black man's acceptance of his transgender child. And this is just not your average everyday Joe. This is a member of the entertainment committee and a famous family that he comes from, too.
Yeah, so the celebrated actor from the scary movie series Marlon Wayans recently, I believe last Friday, did a interview with the Breakfast Club, and he talked about his upcoming comedy special because he's on tour right now. But he's creating another comedy special. Either he said he's going to call it Skittles or like
Hmm.
Rainbow Child, and it's in reference to his journey of accepting his transgender son, his oldest child, who was originally named Amaya.
Am I?
Yeah.
Maya. Now his name is called Kai, and he has two children. His son Kai, his transgender son Kai, and his other son by the name of Sean. Kai is 23. So I could not find like when the transition started. I couldn't find like how or what that type of journey or like resources did Kai like adopt in order to fully transition. But from what Marlon Wayne said within the interview, because it sounded very like new, because
Hmm.
Wayne's was still like tripping up on
The
Kai.
pronouns.
Yeah, Kai's preferred pronouns, as Marlon Wayans was still referring to their child as like their dead pronouns, using like she, her instead of like they, them. And that was something he again like jokingly talked about and said that that's something that because of the strong relationship that Marlon Wayans has with their oldest child, that they can be honest that like this is a transition and this is something that Marlon Wayans is still like having, just like trouble of like knowing exactly what all these things mean. But it's really, the interview is really good. But one thing that I think really just stood out to me was how Marlon Wayans talked about that it's important to love on your child like in the household because the world can be so tough. And
Right.
he talked about like as a parent, he just want his kids to be free. He want them to be free in spirit, free in thought, free to be themselves. And the more you live your truth and the happier your existence. And to hear just a prominent, as you said, Sybil, somebody within the entertainment industry, like really say that during such a critical time, like of political onslaught, like toward transgender youth and just towards queer people in general. I thought it was just really necessary for like folks to see like actually like this is becoming more normal and a lot of folks are actually really accepting it. And here's another good example outside, like Dwayne Wade's and stuff like that. Um,
Right, right. And they had a hard time too. Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union went through a lot. They had a lot of pushback from people who didn't understand what they were going through, and perhaps in their frustration or ignorance, they did not support them. But it looks like the Wayans family is getting a lot of support. Stephen Hill, have you come in contact with this sect of the Wayans family?
No, not since this. Not since this. I was as thrilled by the interview as Kwyn was, because it shows it's a process. Like it's everything. Like it's really like everything we've said on this show before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Old people who are used to doing it one way and are really open to doing it the new way. All
Mm-hmm.
you need is time,
Yeah.
grace, and understanding. Like it was all laid out in that interview, just like
Right.
that. I even I appreciated not appreciated, but I understood the misgendering, because if you're used to doing one thing a certain way
Right.
for 20 some odd
For
years,
20 years, yeah.
it's going to take you more than a year or 2 years to switch that around.
Mhm.
And it's just it's a reality. It's not a disrespect. And I think a lot of times people take that, oh, it's a disrespect. Oh, you call them what they are. Like, no, I've been used to doing this to my own child for a while. It's going to take some time, but he's shown that he's ready to take the time, and I love that.
Mhm.
I did too, and I totally understood that, Kwyn. And as an adult, as Steve said, you're accustomed to my baby girl or she or whatever it is. Even though the name has changed, the pronoun in his head was a difficult change to make, and I can appreciate it. And I think a lot of parents and aunts and uncles probably can appreciate that as well. So I appreciate his openness and as well as his child's to say, yeah, let's tell my story,
Yeah.
and even in a comedic setup, because it is going to be a part of his act, and he is a fine comedian, a really funny guy. But this is an adjustment that sometimes people want the protection of privacy and are not fully prepared to tell their story, but obviously he's taken that into consideration, and probably some discussion went into this as he was working through this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I think I can fairly assume that they have communicated before this
Hmm.
Breakfast Club interview, and definitely before, like, Marlon Wayans is thinking about, using it for like his career, and also just like, I think in a way it's kind of activism just to go ahead and say, like, I do have somebody that's Black and like trans, and to be talking about from that parent perspective, because I do believe it's breaking like a fourth wall for a lot of other parents who have children that are like either in elementary school or like in high school, that have like trans youth, like trans babies. And it's like, how does this actually work, like, really in practice?
Hmm.
I do not think he was misgendering, I'm disrespecting. I do think
Right,
a lot
right.
of times, because there's just been a lot of harm inflicted upon queer youth, that like the defensiveness is really reactive, and it's
Hmm.
hard to really dispense grace and like patience when like people take so much from you, like from day to day. So I'm grateful that Marlon Wayne's child was able and had the capacity to just be like, okay, let's actually sit down and talk about this, because that,
Right.
pretty sure, was also like a lot for them to really explain. And and he talked about that in the interview, because they said, like, you're a comedian, like, I'm pretty sure when your daughter told you that they wanted to transition to a man, that you didn't take it seriously. And Marlon Wayne said, yeah, at first I didn't. I said, like, you look just like your brother now. Like, both of y'all look like the same
Hmm.
Black to me. And they were joking about that. And so I can only imagine that, like, it was still labor for Kai, and like, I'm hoping that, like, this is like a beautiful type of consensual group discussion type of journey for them. So
Right.
I look forward to the live act. I look forward to
Yeah.
Marlon Wayne's last stand up, where he did an entire hour and 10 around the Will, Jada, and his relationship with Will,
Right.
Jada, and Chris Rock,
Yeah.
was so brilliantly constructed. I look forward to what he does with this, his own personal situation, again in his act.
He is my favorite Wayans. Myra, what were you going to say?
Is this the young Wayans that is pursuing stand up?
Mhm. Oh, I think so. Right?
Is Kai
Right.
pursuing stand up?
Oh, I don't know.
know.
One of the younger Wayans, I remember seeing like a year or two ago.
Mhm.
I thought was doing stand up, and I thought at the time she was gay. That's
Hmm.
that's
I
what
don't
I'm.
know. I
Yeah,
just know that this is his oldest child. That's all that I know. But I will definitely look into that because that'll be interesting. That'll be funny.
yeah.
And that sets up a whole nother career,
Yeah.
in a community that one community the Wayans family probably has not pursued up until now. So no telling about this. So good job, Quinn. Thanks for sharing that with us. Also want to tell you what else is in the newsletter. The Black and Missing part of our newsletter on this day from the Black and Missing Foundation. Alexis Emerson has been missing from Prince Frederick, Maryland since November 9th. The 28-year-old is described as 5 feet 7 inches tall, short black hair, and brown eyes. And according to Alexis's mother, she's suffering from mental health challenges. She's believed to be on foot and may be wearing a blonde wig. Now, this was just about a week ago that Alexis went missing. So please take a look at her picture in the What You Need to Know newsletter. If she looks familiar, maybe you are in that area or seen her in another area and have some information, please go to the Black and Missing website, foundation website, and let them know. I see your handle today, Stephen Hill. Stephen, judge not lest ye take trips Hill. I'm not sure if this is in reference to my story about the
Of course it
Supreme
is.
Court.
Of course it is.
Okay,
Of
well,
course it is.
I thought that it was perhaps in reference to the story we did about the code of conduct, a code of ethics, and I put air quotes around that, that was issued by the Supreme Court this week. And as a part of this, had to do with some of the lapses in judgment by Supreme Court justices such as Clarence Thomas, who has taken an unknown number of trips at the beneficence of Harlan Crow, who is a Republican donor and a very, very billionaire-ish kind of rich guy from the state
Sci-
of Texas.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
scientific studies have shown there is absolutely there's never been a Democrat named Harlan. I just want to point that out. Anyway, keep going. Ever. Keep going. I'm sorry. My bad.
That's that's an interesting observation. But that thank you for that. Um, Harlan High School. Who was that named after, Myra? You
Mr.
know?
Harlan. I don't know.
Okay. But, but it's even
Harlan
said, it probably
Jefferson, the inventor of the Confederate flag. Who knew? Who knew?
What we talked about in the newsletter was that primarily it had to do with Clarence Thomas, as ProPublica has done an incredible job of following the trail of all of the unwritten plane tickets because it was private. Most of these things were done through private planes and yachts and what have you, as well as the
And
fact
he
that
didn't report them. Like, doggone, I
that's
knew I
that's the
forgot to
point.
do something the
Yeah,
last 20
yeah,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he never reported any of these things, including the fact that Harlan Crow bought Clarence Thomas's mother's house and rehabbed it, and no mention of this. And certainly there has to be some concern about people such as Harlan Crow or friends of theirs or businesses of theirs doing business before the Supreme Court. And Sam Alito, Justice Samuel Alito, also took a trip from a friend who did bring a case before the Supreme Court, and he never reported it, and he denied any culpability in all of this as well. So, what the Supreme Court did was we have this code of conduct, wink, wink, because we know that we know that some things were done and they weren't on necessarily on the up and up. Clarence Thomas or Sam Alito. But what they did not indicate was that they had come up with their own rules. They were following the rules that have been in place for justices and judges on the lower courts. Nor did they say how they were going to or how or when they were going to implement some sort of discipline against these people for breaking the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
they're not going to. I'm sorry. Newsflash. Spoiler alert. They're not going to. This is the end of this. They think it's just going to go away. And unless there's another huge transgression that's not been revealed yet, it will just go away, because it is indeed the Supreme Court. All of these top positions in government assume benevolence. I know y'all are tired of hearing me say that. Y'all are tired of hearing me say that, but it's just true, and it keeps bearing itself out.
Absolutely. So those are some of the things that we talk about in the What You Need to Know newsletter, and we would love for you once again to be a subscriber to this. And when you do get your newsletter every morning, we would appreciate it if you opened it. Just peruse it. Just take a look at some of the things we got in there, including, if you want, send me your birthday. I'll put it in birthday shout outs. We'd love to do that too, because I love to celebrate people's birthdays. I don't need to take your day off, but I'm just saying that, we would love to celebrate and observe.
Just say you miss me. That's all. Just say that you miss me. I appreciate you and I love you.
We love you, Kwyn, and we missed you, and couldn't figure out why you wouldn't want to come to work.
Be with us on your birthday.
Just
if
can't
I would have
help
work that day, I wouldn't be this person right now. I would have been asleep.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Let's move to the what's really going on question. And as you mentioned, Stephen Hill is going to be leaving any second now to go see his friend Mariah Carey. And this brought up the question. Mariah Carey was on the Jennifer Hudson show, and she talks about the things that, how different her life is. For instance, Mariah does not drive. And so that led to the question, what are those everyday tasks of yours that you could do away with if you could say, damn it, if you could be Yolanda Starks-White and say, I got all these great cars, but I don't like to drive. I would love for someone to drive me. Is that the everyday event or task that you would willingly give up if someone would come and drive you around, as your friends do? Or is it something like cleaning your house or doing the laundry?
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. Apparently this house not going to clean itself. I've tried. Woo. Yep, I wanted a big house. Lord have mercy.
Yes.
Okay.
So are you ready to do like our friend J. Anthony Brown and downsize?
I'm giving it some consideration.
You're contemplating it? Okay. For me, it is, I like doing laundry. That's one thing that I really don't
Sybil,
mind
I have
doing.
plenty.
If you invite me in, I will come and I will and I will separate and I will fold and put away for you as well.
Quick question, Sybil. Are you one of those people who wash and fold and do it all in the same day?
No, I'm not. As a matter of fact, I have a nice little load that's clean that's on my bed right now that after we finish, I must fold and put away. But I don't mind, putting up or even, and I'm not answering my question, obviously, but I don't mind washing the clothes. I don't mind hanging them up if they cannot or do not require being dried in the dryer and all of that kind of stuff. So that's not a biggie for me. I like to drive, but
Let me tell you about that single life though.
Right.
You can live out of your dryer for a few days. That's all.
Okay. Yep. Sometimes you have to go and pick out a pair to put on as you're coming out of the shower. Yeah. So those things. So what are those everyday tasks? What is that task, Kwyn? Asking you to think about this. As a grown woman, now at the grand old age of 30, what's that one task that you have to do that you could very gladly give up? And Stephen Hill, I know you're a driver. I know you have a sporty little car and you like to drive, so that's not an issue for you. But what is that task? Even remembering back to your single days, what is that thing, that you had to do that you could very easily say, I don't want to do it. If I could, man, Lord, take it away from me.
I would really like for somebody to cook for me or prepare a snack for me. I could just like text them like, hey, yeah, I'm hungry. And they'll just come up with those.
And what do you want? I don't know. Surprise me. I would love to be able to say that.
Like at every moment, like just even while I'm at work, it's like, bro, for dinner, I think I want like Texas Roadhouse rolls, but like pasta from like Red Lobster, like, mix it up, like something like that would be really, really cool. Cause I'm so tired when I get off of
But
work.
this is what Uber Eats and DoorDash is for.
You know, DoorDash is getting expensive, and now that I'm getting older, it's just like there's some things that actually I just would rather spend my money on just groceries. I think the cost benefit analysis, just like let me just cook it instead of paying somebody to go to the grocery store for me. And I don't like to eat out that much either. As I'm getting older, I actually want home cooked food, but I don't want to cook. I don't want to wash a dish. I don't want to do none of that.
I know. I understand.
Like somebody else make this food for me. And somebody put personal shopper in the comments. I would love a personal shopper. Like just in general.
I like shopping though. I don't mind online shopping, and I don't mind wandering through the stores and finding things either. I don't mind that. But I have a personal shopper because she doesn't like the things that I wear when we go to special events. So I've got that, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm with you, Kwyn. If I could have somebody prepare my meals for me and say, here's your smoothie for the morning, here's your salad for dinner, and or here's your soup that you love every day. You don't have to go and open a can or run to the takeout for soup.
And I do know like Ashley, like she doesn't drive either, but I think that's that lawyer lifestyle. And she also has somebody who prepares her meals for her. So I know the lifestyle is coming to me. I know.
Oh, yes, you must.
I'm looking forward to just having my meals just ready.
You might want to pop that question sooner rather than later. Stephen Hill.
I'm taking this question a little differently because I can, MC says she doesn't like to drive. She can get somebody to drive for her. I can get somebody to cook for me if I want to. I can get somebody to clean for me if I want to. So I'm trying to pick something that I have to do that I don't like to do, but I'm the person who has to do it regardless. I hate brushing my teeth. I do it every single day. I do what I'm supposed to. Do it at night.
You could have someone brush your teeth for you.
If I could have somebody brush my teeth, it's the thing that I hate doing, but I have to do.
Brushers?
Nobody's we getting the Cheryl Lee Ralph ain't gonna come in here and brush my teeth.
But what do you hate?
Oh, wait, it was Shirley. What's Sheila Ralph? Who was it? Coming to America.
Who was the royal wife?
Who was the royal brush? I
can't remember from Coming to America, but
so that's it. Again, taking out the things that like I can get other people to actually do.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
You know what a guy told me? If he could have somebody clean his ears, and I was like, that is really low. I don't know why the brushing the teeth.
But it's a service for that though. I mean, you can go and get your ears wax or whatever.
But I don't want to know that he doesn't like to, because I really like the feeling of cleaning my ears. So that's not a problem for me. But I don't know. It's just really, and he said, I'm really sorry I just shared that with you. I said,
I'm not sorry at all. Charlotte Bowen Bellamy from Facebook says, wow, Stephen, get an electric toothbrush. I have an electric toothbrush.
Do you have the flosser, the floss brush?
I do. No, I have a water pick, electric toothbrush. That for musicians, if you would care, my toothbrush plays in the key of C.
I have my Captain America.
And you still don't like it.
Yolanda, Stephen Hill has led us into the comments. Do we have any others you'd like to share? Dead School Clothing says dusting. That's a good one too. Yeah, that's on YouTube. Renita Bland on Facebook, personal shopper. I need someone to go to the grocery store for me. That's why all the snacks get in. That's why all the snacks get in my house. I need to send a list. No junk food allowed. Wow, no junk food added. And I'm one of those. I will call Yolanda from the store and say, I'm here, Tom Thumb. You want or need anything? Karen Vaughn on YouTube. I would love to not have to go to the kitchen ever again. I'm
KV, you look. When my son turned 16, I walked him in the kitchen and I did just like this. I said, "This son will become a museum if you don't use it." Your mama has cooked for you enough. She showed you where everything is. Work it out.
Wow, good for your mom. Good for you. My mom, my mom was not a cook, and I'm not either. She and my dad made sure that I knew how to, take care of the necessities and stuff. But my dad used to joke to his friends that he would have to go and clean out and take a knife, a machete, and a gun and kill all the lions and tigers and bears that were in the kitchen. These were the animals that kept my mother from going in and preparing a meal. So in order to have her do that, he had to go and do all of this and then say, "Okay, it's all clear." He said and then she would go in and do that. Quinn, I have to go in and clear my oven out of my books because I'm running out of space to keep books in. So it's in my oven. But I oftentimes, like when I boil
Wait.
Yes.
Run that back to me one more time. So, did you just say you have books
in my oven.
in your oven?
Yes.
Okay, that beat me. Okay.
Hey, Sybil. Hey, Sybil. At what temperature do you run your oven? Fahrenheit 451?
Right.
Fahrenheit
Look
451?
what you did there.
When does the knowledge kick in? When are they done? When are the books done?
Well, the authors would say when I say the end.
That's
However,
what I'm gonna say.
it's a good place to keep them if you're running out of space. I'm running out of shelf space for my books. What else do we have, yo? Spa Crystals on YouTube says coming home to dishes in the sink, grocery shopping, cooking, dusting, and living with other people. If you can live on your own. Stephen Hill.
Next week we'll have the question, what do you like to do for Spa Crystal's shorter answer?
That is a lot. Yolanda, give us that again. That's a long list of things you don't want to do. Coming home to dishes in the sink, I get that. Grocery shopping, cooking, dusting, and living with other people. That is quite a list of things you want to get rid of.
Yeah, you know you are frustrated when you think every day they're going to be there. When you turn the corner and you take that deep breath like, dang it, they are in the house. Oh.
That's when you sit. Yes, when you sit in the car, listen to the radio, and try not to run the battery down.
Okay.
Huh. I know people
before
who do
you
that.
go in the house. Before you go in the house. Oh,
I know. I've had the next door neighbor come. You okay? Because I'm parked next door. Like, I got to get my head right.
And it's like, I got to get my head right. It's just, I just got to.
Whatever it takes, Sybil. You don't, I've been through some things, okay? Whatever it takes. Woo.
Okay, so Quinn and I are on the cooking page. Stephanie Everett's on Facebook says, pump my gas. I don't mind doing that either.
But remember, back in the day,
there used to be
filling station. Yes,
the filling station.
Remember the filling station? Yes.
Wow.
And they would pump your gas. You didn't touch the pump.
I mean, but what happened to men doing that? Isn't that not chivalry?
Oh, it is. It is most definitely. But you still have to pay in some form or another.
It's a gas, grass, or whatever. Nobody rides for free.
No one's for free.
I never grass.
You just described my entire college life.
Okay. That's college back in the day. Okay.
I think it was Evelyn who said on YouTube, I hate money.
Don't really be cleaning. Y'all just don't put the wipes down and spray. Call it a day.
I even have a little computerized the little thing that spins around. But
the Roomba?
I'm talking about dust. Lord, I don't dust nothing.
Regina Glover on Facebook. I hate shopping for clothes. I would like to have someone shop for clean my house and go to work for me. Yes, earn a paycheck and give me the money. Isn't that what marriage is for?
I believe that's called what's the scientific word for it? Pimp.
So Regina want to be pimping. Okay.
Period.
And pimping ain't easy.
Period. Yes. Pimping ain't easy.
Actually, it kind of is. If you think about it.
Okay. Aubrey.
It's easier than the other thing.
Aubrey W. I hate doing yard work. It's basically an all-day task I feel is overrated. It's a good form of exercise, but you're right, because just by the time you get all those leaves and everything, and then some wind will come and all over the place.
I have a leaf blower for I have 2 decks. I am up against the forest back here, and I have learned that as the trees have grown taller in the last 20 years, but everything is now over my deck, and the wind blows, and it literally blows up against the house. And so I can be ankle deep in leaves every 2 or 3 days.
But isn't yard work easier than shoveling snow? Shoveling snow is crazy hard.
Yes.
I look at it as you just got to get out there and exercise unless you're able to convince a kid to come and do it for $10. Janice Eatman on Facebook, tell your fur baby that we all said, "Hey, Quinn," and that is Oliver Twist.
Oh,
How big he
That
is.
cat is so big now.
Hello.
I can't say that again. But so that ends our question of the day. What's that one event? What's that one task or thing that you have to do that you would gladly give up to somebody else doing for you? Stephen Hills is the
Really
most
proud that
unusual.
y'all didn't take this question to another direction. That's that energy. I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all should be so proud of y'all.
Wait, what?
I'm just proud of y'all. Y'all didn't take it another way. Y'all really could have made it a whole nother conversation. I'm so
For
proud.
sure. Thank you.
No, we got it all of our system last week. Trust us. Trust us.
Yeah, that's true.
Last-
That's true.
We all kept saying like, "Damn, Quinn would have liked that, huh? Shoot, okay, yeah, she would have. That was wrong with it. Yeah."
Let's move to trending news. And Myra, you are trending. Where are you going to be? What you going to do? You got a couple of events coming up.
Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, I will be opening for J. Anthony Brown at Ludlow Garage in Cincinnati. Spread the word. If anybody's even close to Cincinnati, drive down. It'll be fun. It's going to be fun.
It will be fun.
Laugh your turkey off.
Awesome. And Stephen Hill, what about you and the Songbird?
St. Louis this weekend. St. Louis Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Sunday, Monday, I believe, are pretty much gone clean. There's still tickets for Tuesday if you want to come. If you're in the St. Louis area, come on by. Say hello.
Nice.
And then start of the year, it's another East Coast swing: New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Nashville, among other places. At the top of the year, we going strong. We paying for these faucets. We paying for these faucets. We paying for these faucets. We're paying these faucets to life.
And for somebody to come in and brush Stephen Hill's teeth, I'm also paying for that.
No. And there's two. Is the baby one like for when you drink water out the tap, or
is that hot water?
The
baby faucet.
Yeah, I call that faucet St. Louis and that one Atlanta because those are the shit. No, play. Yes, it's for hot water. It's hot water.
Hot water, yeah.
I think it's hot water. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, mine's supposed to be, but it's not. So, Quinn, what do you have coming up?
I'm just teaching. I'm teaching next semester again.
You're back to work. Okay.
Yes, I'm teaching a class on Black poetry and performance next semester. So I'm really excited to really just combine all things in the class. I'm getting all my students excited for it, and they are excited for it. So
nice.
Feels good.
That's awesome. That's excellent.
Did every student pass your class this past week? This past time?
Yeah, I was gonna give them an A regardless, according to whiteness. So yeah. Everybody's gonna get it
according to whiteness.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The group that was created was Eurocentric.
So everybody got an A. So everybody got an A.
Everybody got an A.
Fantastic.
I knew that as soon as they walked in, and I said that. I said, "You were gonna get an A. You determine if an A doesn't mean that you were successful. An A is just a credit, but you determine if you actually were successful in my class." So next semester,
I wish you were my professor.
Let me rephrase the question. Were there any people in your class who were less deserving, who really stunk?
In your heart of hearts, in your brain of brains,
stunk it out. Some people who really didn't deserve a high mark. If you were marking that way, consider yourself being just. I love how this is pissed off. So you'll get this. Just think of yourself as a white person for a minute.
He's like, I can't.
Just think of yourself as a white person for a minute. If you were a white person,
I think it is really hard to measure because all of my assignments were reflection and introspection. And we had projects out there.
Did they have to write out the reflections and introspections?
Yes, but I think also just like, I told you guys I had an IEP, throughout high school and stuff. And so just being somebody who is like neurodivergent, I find it very hard to actually measure somebody's effort by the amount of words or like measure somebody's brilliance by like how many sentences they can like conjecture. And so they had a choice of like medium. They didn't have to always write it out. They could have like sent a video. They could have came in my office and said,
form of art. that they felt comfortable
Yeah.
with. And
So it was really a different type of experiential abstract. And I can tell in the responses, like they're supposed to do an end of the year project and just tell me like, okay, define multicultural leadership. And a lot of them are just like, we want to have a potluck and I'm going to make this dish and somebody else is going to make that dish. And I'm like, oh, okay, see, this is
that's
all.
how you have that's your final.
Yes.
I showed up at Kwyn's class in a leotard talking about, I would like to do an interpretive dance of what I believe.
If you guys would love to talk to my students next semester, like we were talking about everything. If you guys want to talk, I tell my friends all the time, like these are some kids that really, I think are going to change some stuff up for our society.
That's a really interesting class you got there.
Steven's so annoying.
I don't ever remember one of those at Northwestern, but okay.
This is the honors class, which is crazy. So
yes,
let me share this real quick. When I was working on my master's, back then it was into, that's what, when they were starting to get into your feelings kind of thing. So it was this emotions feeling class. I'm the only Black in there, and it was like one of the last days of class, and they went all around the room, and the white kids were like, you think you're cool because you're Black, and you think you're this, and you think you're that. When I tell you, I sat there, took it all in, and went one by one and cussed everybody out, including the professor. And I said, and I want an A out of this class because you want to talk feelings? Those are my feelings. I have sat through here doing what I had to do because I want a master's degree. This is what I feel about it. Now give me my A, because bottom line, I don't give a real bleep about any of y'all. And the professor called me and he said, I've never had anyone talk to me like that. But you will get an A. I was like, thank you.
Damn, Skippy.
Thank you. Because y'all not gonna sit up here and tell me what you think about me, but then I can't tell you what I think about you, and you find that unacceptable because you put it out there on the table.
No, I don't find it unacceptable at all. As a matter of fact, I find it a bit arousing.
You'd like to come back next semester.
Tell me more about me. Tell me more about me.
The institutional harm and fear that many college students, especially first gen and underrepresented students, feel in the classroom, I just really wanted to eradicate that. I was like, if you can't be here because you are having a mental health day, if you can't be here because you just honestly don't want to come to class, just communicate. And students, all of my students have been very, very communicative. All my students have been very open and receptive. Like it's majority white students. They're ranging from like either education, some of them are elementary education, or I have somebody that's in business. Like, and all of them, we've been reading about Asad Shakur, and the Black Panthers and like art and like talking about Marsha P. Johnson and Dia de los Muertos and like.
Can't wait for them to go home for Thanksgiving and have these.
Right. And they're going to come back and be like, Miss Kwyn, I told my mom about James Baldwin and, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So like, it's great.
That's nice.
I hope you're right. I'm also afraid with that, and I appreciate the desire to look out for people's mental health. But there'll be people who obviously, as they do with every system, take advantage of that system. Yeah. And there'll be some dumb people getting A's and getting ahead in this world and getting placed in this world they shouldn't and don't deserve to. That's my biggest fear for the future. As we look at that's my biggest fear is people taking advantage of like kind people like you who are taking care of people's real mental health and go like, you mean I ain't got to do it then? I can still get by and not do it. And we have a whole bunch of not doing it who are going to be high in the government one day.
And that's something I had to unlearn.
They're there now.
Right. But that's something I had to unlearn too. It's like, our people as human beings, I'm sorry, I'm probably taking so much time to go, but as human beings, are we inherently bad? Are we inherently like just organically, we're going to manipulate, we're going to take advantage? Or are we actually just good people? And, Stephen, you sound like majority of like the young men that I actually encounter with on my campus. They're just like, no, like people are going to steal, they're going to take advantage. And I'm like, okay, if they do, like, isn't that my choice to decide if they actually took something from me? Like, I don't think this is a situation, but yeah.
I mean, is it okay? So yes, in the moment, but what it does is have people develop in ways that are going to affect other people in the future. In the moment, it's yours. In the future, it's everybody's, and that's the part I'm scared of. Okay. And by the way, I want to be clear. One of my guiding principle, just so that is Anne Frank's. In spite of everything, I believe that people are good. Like that's my guiding principle. I've gotten screwed by it a couple of times, but I'd like to believe that. But there are also going to be people who take advantage of the system, and they usually come from the European side of the world.
Speaking of the system, can we talk a little bit of news?
Yes.
Sure.
Only if Yolanda makes us.
Leaders of two of the world's superpowers, that would be President Biden and Xi Jinping, which is just fun to say, met in San Francisco today for the first time in a year for talks aimed at easing the friction between the two superpowers over military conflicts, drug trafficking, and artificial intelligence, and said they made real progress. The president welcomed the Chinese leader at a place called Filoli Estate, a country house and gardens about 30 miles south of San Francisco. They're there for the summit of the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum, and Mr. Biden said the U.S. and China had to ensure that competition between them does not veer into conflict and manage their relationship responsibly. He also said issues such as climate change, counter narcotics, and AI demanded their joint attention. I get that, but I want to know what happened to the talk about the spy balloons that were flying across the country. I really want to. You really think that we didn't know what you were doing, and that you're buying up our farmland near military installations? Was that a part of the conversation too? I want to know this and how you are spying on us and how TikTok is playing a part in this, has been alleged by a number of people. I want to know what you're doing in regards to those things that we hear about and then a lot of people are frightened by. But our farmland is being bought up, whether they're putting there for animals and making it easier for them to get pork products, whether they are putting it for vegetables for their for their dishes and what have you, or if they are doing it in order to spy on our military installations. And the
Here's
balloons, what's that?
let me bring this back around. China,
Yeah.
here's because China's going to China's going to be likely to be superior at this because they don't care about their people's mental health. They don't care how they
Well, that's
feel.
true.
They care about getting it done, right? And they're not in school. They're not in school giving anybody kindness. They're in school saying, "Here's what you have to do for the next day. I don't care what happens. Oh, your parents died? I'm sorry. Oh, your house is on fire? This is what we're doing the next day." Whether it's spying balloon, and by the way, and they'll take these chances. They're going to keep going until they get caught, and even when they get caught, unless they get penalized, to your point, they're just going to keep going. It's a different
until
society.
they take over the world.
Right. Well, at least until they get a great economic. I think taking over the world. It's interesting to find out what take over the world means now. I think
it's different. Yeah.
But they're going to have an economic advantage that is going to be very, very, very unfortunate for us very soon.
Wow, that's frightening. And their economy is.
But I'm positive.
Their economy is much worse than ours, according to economists. So it's going to be interesting to see how much they are willing to bend in the direction of the United States, while they are also supporting Russia in the fight against Ukraine and other issues like that. So,
I have never been on TikTok, and just when everybody, you got to be on TikTok. And then when the whole story about China came out, I'm like, will I be the last American that they'll come after because I'm the only who's not on TikTok?
Okay.
That's a movie. Hey, Brian McCutcheon on Facebook and Linda Sell on YouTube basically say the same thing. Like, but the American landowners are selling to China. I don't care what you have. If someone gives you a price,
everything
keeps going on the prices, you're going to sell it. Like it doesn't, and you're not going to care whether you sell it to China. You're not going to care.
And you're not thinking.
It's what gentrification is all about. It's there's going to be a price where you got to go like, yeah, I'm gonna sell it. I'm out. I'm good.
And they're not thinking about, well, the base is just down the road, but they're not. They just want my land, and I
want their money given.
And I want and I'm willing to take their money. Yep.
Given that interest rates are at 8%. Anyhow, I'm sorry.
And definitely.
Oh, go ahead.
Say again, Kwyn.
I just want to know why they chose to meet in San Francisco. I heard there was like a forum or something that has happening. That's why China was in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's the Asia Pacific forum and superpowers in the Asia Pacific, and so that's where they met in advance of the big consortium of leaders.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody remember the QAnon shaman who stormed the Capitol January 6th? The QAnon
was he the one wearing the bullhorns? Was he the one wearing the bullhorns?
Yeah.
I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
He has filed paperwork to run for Congress from the great state of Arizona, as if they're not wacky enough. Jacob Chansley, who served about 27 months in prison for his role in the Capitol attack, has filed to run for the seat being left vacant by a Republican member of Congress who is retiring. He stood out among the Capitol rioters by appearing shirtless with face paint and wearing that furry headdress with horns and carrying a U.S. flag affixed to a spear as along with a bullhorn, and he pleaded guilty to a single count of felony obstruction of an official proceeding. The federal judge in 2021 sentenced him to 41 months in prison. He served 27. And in the sentencing memo, prosecutors described him as the public face of the Capitol riot. And he was among the initial group of rioters to enter the building. And he used a bullhorn to rile up the crowd and demand that lawmakers be brought out. He shouted obscenities in the Senate gallery, climbed the chamber's dais, and he was photographed. He photographed himself there, and refusing officers' orders to leave, and left a note that read, "It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming." This is the man that Arizona has to run for the United States Congress. As if there's not enough craziness on in the Congress. I know, with kidney punches and MMA fighters and
Right.
and all of this other nonsense
And
that's
and
going
he
on.
doubled down on it when they asked him today, were you going to fight that guy? Yes, yes, I was. Where I'm from, we fight. And I'm like, what an ignorant amen.
From Oklahoma. Yeah, yeah.
Ignorance is rewarded nowadays.
Okay. And it
And
and it
and they
took
saying he
82-year-old Bernie Sanders to
I
say,
know,
sit down,
like
sit down. You're a United States Senator.
for Pete's sake.
Oh golly. Um, so this guy is going to become, or at least he is hoping to become a United States congressman and add to the madness. Do you remember the unfortunate situation that happened in Virginia earlier this month, in which a 6-year-old boy got a hold of his mother's gun, took it to school, and shot his teacher? Uh, his mother was sentenced today to 21 months in prison on federal charges. This 6-year-old boy, actually, Quinn, I remember trying to reach you that day because it happened in Virginia. I think it was, and the teacher was
Yeah.
a graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the teacher is so she's still suffering from the harm of the gunshots, and she has not gone, and it's unlikely she'll ever go back into a classroom. But the question was, how did he get this mother's gun? And then the question was, how did she get a gun? Because she lied about being a drug user when she went to purchase the weapon. She's sentenced to 21 months in prison, and she's charged with lying about having no contact with illegal drugs. And so it's an unfortunate situation. It's a very sad situation. Charged with using marijuana while in possession of a firearm, and so it is, this little boy is not living with his mother apparently right now, even before the sentencing. The prosecutors asked for 21 months. That's what she got. Um, I'm not sure that this is the right way to get across your point, but I'm not a judge, and I don't make the laws. I'm not in state house or Congress or whatever. But it just, this little boy's life will never be the same. This teacher's life will never be the same, and it's based upon, and somebody has to pay the price for this, and it's based upon this mother's stupidity in having a weapon, and this little boy knowing that there was a weapon in the house and how to easily access it to take to school. Hmm. That is the sad truth of it all, as far as I'm concerned. Um, so check this out. This is something that I have a problem with. I am not a big fan of this. So a grocery chain is removing self-checkout lanes after realizing the executives hate it as much as customers do, and they say we like to talk to people. um, I want my prices to be lower if I have to go to the store and check my own self out. I want some sort of discount on that. And I don't like those people. Is that a good detergent? Why are you getting that? What? I don't want the conversation. I just want to get in and get out, but I also want a discount. And this is in England. It's not here, by the way. And of
Oh,
course,
okay.
I talked myself right out of time. Sorry about that, Stephen Hill. I know this is,
No.
I know. Let's move to entertainment. And I can't talk about the story, but I will talk about this. Now that the Screen Actors Guild strike has been settled, the writers have been back to work for a minute. It's back to work for some of your favorite TV shows following the strike season, and the strike has now cleared actors to go back to work. Those who are lucky enough to have the jobs, and so they are saying they're giving a date of the week of November 27th, probably be the first or the earliest week that your favorite TV shows may come back on with fresh episodes. Abbott Elementary is one of those. All the Chicago shows, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Barbecue, Chicago Garrett's Popcorn, all of those Chicago TV shows are coming back. Young Sheldon, which I am a fan of, is coming back late November to early December. Blue Bloods, all the CSI, Vegas, Honolulu, South Shore, all those shows. The Equalizer is coming back, as well as some other shows, and I keep losing my place here. And so by the end of December, beginning of January, they hope to have everybody's favorite shows back in line. All American is coming back. All American Homecoming on the Black HBCU campuses is another good show. They're all coming back in the
And
latter
the
part.
Emmys, which was postponed from September, it will be January. I believe it's MLK's birthday, January 15th.
Right,
The Emmys
right. And the
postponed from
daytime
September, not
Emmys
January.
are coming back December 10th.
There you
And,
go.
but it's a couple of shows, and I feel bad because I don't remember the names, that they literally told them the day the SAG strike ended that
I forgot that too, Myra.
and don't
Yeah.
bother to come back tomorrow. They canceled the shows. The
Oh yeah,
day
there are a
that-
few of those. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Wow.
And I feel so bad for these people because they've been waiting
Yeah.
to go back to work.
Right.
And to me, if they knew that they were going to cancel the shows, they should have just told the people because
That's
they could
right.
be looking for other jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really unfortunate. I hate that. I also hate that the Wonder Years, the black version, was canceled
Mhm.
over the summer too, and they came back and they just didn't get enough publicity. And they were, even though they were in that Abbott Elementary spot, it was a really, really well done show. But
It was.
so now we have our daily inspiration, Yogi's Jewel, and it says this: fun fact. The universe is going to always be honest with you, whether you're honest or not. The universe is going to always be honest with you, whether you are honest or not. So tell the truth.
You hear that, T-Rump?
You hear that? You hear that? Daylight savings time.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate you. Welcome back, Kwyn. Have a wonderful holiday, everybody. Thanksgiving week, and we will see you all again week after next. Take care.
Well,
See you next
happy
week.
Thanksgiving.
Merry
Bye-bye.
Thanksgiving. All I want for Christmas.